I think we're live. I think we're live.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to this special event of celebrating the World Environment Day. Thank you all for being here with us today, and we're looking forward to a very nice evening full of a lot of interesting talks, great speakers, guest speakers with us tonight. So handing over to Nick Bilbra, our founder and artistic coordinator of the Hands Up. Over to you, Nick.
Thank you very much, Raja. Sorry. Thank you very much, Raja. It's a real pleasure to be here today. We're going to begin with something very special. This is a live remote theatre performance from Gaza. There are 4 amazing actors and their brilliant teacher, Renan, involved in this play. This play is in the book Welcome to Earth and Other Plays, and it's the play that we named the book after. And you can buy it from our website, both the digital version and the hard copy from our website. Young people in Gaza are leading the world in remote theatre, and please would you now sit back and enjoy the performance. If you are a panelist, could you please turn off your cameras and mute yourselves, please? If everyone could turn off their cameras, and we will begin the play.
Beautiful people, you live in the same world as I do, but somehow I never noticed you before today. I'm ashamed to say, beautiful people, we share.
Oh, thanks, God.
We've landed safely, Alhamdulillah.
Oh, we've landed safely. Earth, Earth, the beautiful blue planet. And now let's see. What should we do?
We should look for somewhere to live.
But where?
I think we should look for a good safe place, my friends. Let's go and look in different places, then meet back here. Everyone can tell us where they went.
Okay, Wham. You're right.
There are many lives on Earth. Humans kill each other. Use bad weapons. These weapons kill children. How could this happen on Earth?
I see many poor people, homeless, looking for food. No one looks at them. There is so much food on Earth, but many people are still hungry.
I don't think humans on Earth are so bad. I'm lucky. I've seen nice, good people. Farmers grow crops. Teachers teach children at school. Doctors help sick people.
Oh, good.
Well, the weather on Earth is getting worse because of humans' activities. They cut down many trees. The weather is getting hotter and its ice is melting.
Oh, this is so bad. So dangerous for our life on Earth.
So, what should we do, my friends? Shall we stay or look for somewhere to live?
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Earth is beautiful. We will stay here and make it a better place.
Earth is beautiful. We will stay and make it a better place.
Earth is beautiful. We will stay here and make it a better place.
Earth is beautiful. We will stay here and make it a better place.
Thank you.
The end.
Well done. Brilliant. Fantastic work, all of you. That's just beautiful. Fantastic. And thank you for showing the world what remote theatre is. That's remote theatre. Beautiful, beautiful piece of work. So let's invite Ghazal to say a few words about the play, please.
Yes. Welcome to Earth play has a universal message. It's a call for generations to come. You should look after nature and environment. It's our friend. Don't cut down forests. Don't pollute Earth. We should make it a better place for you and me. If humans continue to damage an environment, we will risk losing our shelter and safely. So please, keep this wonderful world and try to fix what's destroyed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ghazal.
Thank you.
Beautiful words. Thank you.
Thanks, Ghazal. And
I hope everybody listens to that message. Rinan, Jamal, congratulations to you, to all of the girls. That was absolutely beautiful and just right for World Environment Day. I hope the world listens to you. So thank you very, very much to all of you. That was amazing. Now, I don't know how Colm feels about this, because you are a very hard act to follow. But we now have Colm Downs from the British Council in Indonesia. I can't see you. Where are you, Colm? Are you here?
I am here. Yep.
Excellent.
Thanks, Sarah.
Excellent. Okay, so Colm's going to talk to us about, I think, climate action in language education, right, Colm?
I am in a minute. Yes.
Okay, brilliant.
I'm ready.
We are looking forward to this. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Thanks to Nick. You're absolutely right. This is a very difficult act to follow. I just want to congratulate the actors, Sarah, Yara, Rahaf, and Ghazal. That was a fantastic play to kick off this Hands Up project special on World Environment Day. I was thinking it's World Earth Day. It's World Environment Day today on June the 5th. I'm delighted to be with you, joining this special 1 hour from Indonesia. I'm currently in Jakarta, and it's 10 o'clock here. I think it's 6 o'clock in Palestine and 4 o'clock in the UK. Let me get that right. It's been a while since I've been on, oh, the recording stopped. It's been a while since I've been in a webinar live with Nick, but it's really nice to be back. For those of you that don't know me, I am Colm and I work for the British Council, and I used to live and work in Palestine until a couple of years ago, and I miss my friends, students and teachers very much. So hello to all of you that I haven't seen for a long time. I've been thinking about you a lot, as always. Here's my painting over there from Malak Mata, very proudly up in my house. Right now, though, I am in Indonesia, and I am still responsible for helping to support the development of English language teaching, learning and assessment. And I'm going to talk for about 5 or 6 minutes about a new project that I'm managing for the British Council globally. And it's called Climate Action in Language Education. One of the things that many governments have agreed is that climate change education is important and that it should be across the curriculum, not only in science lessons, but integrated into all lessons. And that includes language teaching and English language teaching. However, that agreement is relatively new, and not very many teachers have the resources, the training, or sometimes the confidence to integrate environmental issues into their teaching. More and more want to, and they see their role in sort of tackling climate change through integrating it into their teaching, but they need maybe a little bit more support in how to do that. So what I've been doing over the last 6 months with some experts from different countries, I've been developing some resources specifically for teachers to help train them how to integrate environmental issues into their teaching. So I'm going to show you those now. If I can share my screen. Can I share my screen? Can I have the permission to do that? I'm not sure I have permission to share my screen yet.
Sorry, Colm, I'm just having a look at that now.
Okay. I think I might need to be a co-host.
Yeah.
While we're getting the permission, I'll tell you a story about the environment in Palestine that I remember, because Palestine has got the most amazing, wonderful kind of natural environment. My favorite memory when I think about nature and the environment in Palestine is I used to live in Ramallah, and I used to love driving around the West Bank. And one of my favorite drives was to drive from Ramallah to Jericho. And Ramallah's quite high up. And on that drive from Ramallah to Jericho, I would go across past Tabor and some other villages. And then suddenly I get to the top of, there's a sort of the valley. I'd be right at the top of the valley, and always at the top of the valley, there's these huge skies, and there were lots of birds everywhere, these birds kind of circling around. And there's lots of birds that fly from Europe to Africa through Palestine. It always was just, I think Palestine has the best skies in the world. Honestly, I've lived in a lot of places. I always thought the sky is enormous, and it had birds and other things. And then I could see all the way down into the valley. Anyway, I think I can share my screen now.
You should be able to, but I'm really glad you told that story too.
All right, here we go. There we go. I was going to start off with a little comment about those birds, because this is a picture from the West Bank, and some of those birds that fly through. Some of them live there, but a lot of them are migrating through Palestine. But there's, yeah, my memories of often driving in the morning or at dusk, and the green glow of the minaret in the mosque. But let me tell you about my project, because I know I haven't got much time. So I'm going to play you a quick trailer from the British Council's new Climate Connection programme. This is about 20 seconds, so hold on to your seats. Oh, if we can get it to go. Right, we're going to go straight into, I'm going to tell you about 3 separate initiatives. The first is a series of online modules for teachers that you can do, kind of self-paced courses. Some of the teachers in Palestine, I know you're familiar with our online training. There are some Palestinian teachers that have already done this course, so many thanks to you. But it's open to everybody, it's free. You can see that we've already run modules 1 and 2. We started in April, and we had over 1,000 teachers from over 100 countries, but we want to reach more teachers. And so we have decided to rerun all of these modules. There's 3 in total, from June the 16th to June the 30th. So it's 9 hours of learning in total, and you get a certificate for each module. They've got a slightly different focus. And in addition to the online self-paced modules, we have a Facebook group called Language for Resilience, where we talk about the modules and sometimes have our own Facebook Live events. Not as many as in the Hands Up project, though, not yet. So that's the online training for teachers. The second thing that we've got, which I'm really excited about, and I think this is of universal appeal, not just for teachers, but possibly also for students, if you're interested, and for non-English language teaching sort of professionals. It's a podcast series. It's 10 episodes. And I'm just going to play you the trailer to our podcast so you can get an idea of what it sounds like.
The Climate Connection. I think it's Nelson Mandela who said education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world.
La conexión climática.
There's a large group of people who are often left out of the climate conversation. There's so much that we can be learning from indigenous communities around the world, for example, who, despite contributing the least to climate change, are facing some of the worst effects.
We ran a project called BYOB, Bring Your Own Plant. Unbelievable results. We were getting, ADHD cut by 3/4. Turns out it wasn't the kid that had the attention deficit. It was the environment that was deficiting their attention,
The Climate Connection. Climate action in language education. A new 10-part podcast series from the British Council. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
The Climate Connection.
The Climate Connection. I think it's...
Excuse me. So that's the trailer for the Climate Connection, and it was made by Chris Salton. And in addition to the audio, each episode is about 40 minutes long. But what's really useful for teachers, obviously you can learn a lot from a podcast, so it's like a radio episode. but we've developed some what we call show notes to go along with the podcast. This is an example from episode 2. And in the show notes, it gives you a lot more information about the episode. It talks about the vocabulary in the episode, so you can learn a lot of sort of what we improve your climate and environmental literacy. And we developed this podcast in partnership with Oxford University Press, and they have made a lot of the words in each episode available online, especially for us. So there's a lot of language learning that you can do through reading the show notes and listening to the podcast. So you can enjoy it as a non-ELT professional, as a regular podcast, or as a teacher. You can improve your own English and especially your environmental and climate literacy. And if you probably wouldn't play a whole episode in a lesson with your students, but you might choose a sort of short 2-minute, 3-minute extract from the episode, and you could maybe use that to teach. Just the last thing I wanted to say. So we've got 3 episodes up at the moment. The first episode is called Taking the Temperature. It's got the president of IATEFL, Harry Kutcher, talking about environmental issues. The second episode is live as well at the moment, has got some really amazing young leaders, 2 female leaders, Juja Mamri and Sophia Kiani. You can have a listen to the podcast and find out more about why they are so amazing young women and what they're doing to tackle the climate crisis. But also in that episode, there's a little bit from the Moldovan English Teachers Association. And in next week, you will get, we will release our 3rd episode with Scott Thornbury and Kieran Donahue, who I think some of you know. And this is very exciting. The Hands Up Project are going to be in our podcast series in episode 6. So you have to wait a few weeks, but you will be coming up soon. And then the last thing for me is to say that we have been busy producing some lesson plans of our own. So we have 12 new lesson plans, all designed around environmental issues. At a couple of them at primary level, a couple at secondary level, and a couple tertiary level. And again, some low level, some intermediate, and some advanced. So hopefully, if you are looking for a new lesson to try out with your students, there'll be something there for you to do. But the most important thing is to contextualize these lessons for what interests your learners most. I think I've gone slightly over time. It's a real pleasure to be back with speaking to Palestinian teachers who do such an incredible job, and Palestinian students who are leading the way in remote theatre and in so many other ways. Thanks very much from me, and I'm going to hand back over to the host for the next item on this special agenda today. Take care, everybody. Bye from me.
Thanks, Colm. That was brilliant. And I'm personally looking forward to using those lessons. But I would also like to say that I think it's going to be, you know, the amazing young people that we saw at the beginning of this celebration who are going to really be taking things forward. And I think you can see from their talent and their desire to change things that they are going to be our leaders taking it forward. And I'm really happy to see that. So thanks, Colm, that was brilliant. All right, now next we have somebody, a special guest from the Hands Up Project who's been working with us, I think for a couple of months now, showing us some amazing things every Thursday. We all really enjoy her sessions. It's the amazing Frazzy from Frazoo. And we'd like to welcome Frazzy and her exciting animal. And I don't know which one it is, Frazzy. And yeah, just tell us about the work you do, the company Frazoo, and it's a real pleasure to have you here as well.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. Can you hear me? That's my first question is, can everyone see me? Can everyone hear me? Because I'm not very good at the technology side of things. I'm getting a thumbs up from Michelle. So hi, everyone. Oh, my goodness. How wonderful to see that play. It was so incredible. I loved it. It was wonderful. Like Colm said, very hard act to follow. And I also enjoyed hearing about Colm talking about the migrating birds flying through the sky. We've talked about these before, how Palestine has this, it's this corridor from all the birds that fly from Africa up through and then up to Europe, and they go twice a year. They go up and they go down again. So yeah, a very special place to see fantastic birds. So I'm very jealous of that. So I've got 3 things to talk about today, and I know I don't have very long, so I'm going to crack on. So I'm Frazzy from Frazoo. I am a primary school teacher, and I also have a zoo in my own house. I have all my animals with me, which kind of makes it a bit crazy sometimes. So the first thing, before I show you the animal, and it's a Palestinian animal, I'm going to just talk about 2 things really, really quickly. So the first thing is, I was thinking, okay, so it's World Environment Day. How can we help the nature and wildlife of Palestine? Well, I did some research on the internet, and I found a fantastic website. Now, this is the website, but there are lots of different ones, so you don't have to go to that one, about how to donate an olive tree to Palestine. So I did it yesterday, and I got my little email back saying I had all done it and everything. And what's really important, obviously, that will be donated to a farmer who will have a tree that's probably taller than me, and it will already be fruiting, and it will be a really useful thing to have, but also it will provide shelter and shade and food for wildlife. So it's a wonderful thing to do. Anyway, and I paid for it with my Frazoo money, so my animals have paid for the tree, so they are all very happy about that. My second thing I wanted to talk to you about was invasive species. So all around the world, in every country, there are plants that have turned up there and they shouldn't be there. So sometimes people bring them because they think they're really pretty. We have, and this is from my garden, this is, I'm afraid the flowers have gone, this is turned to seed. This is a Spanish bluebell. And this is an invasive species. We have English bluebells, and the Spanish bluebells are kind of taken over. Now, obviously, I do actually like things from Spain, particularly the food. but yeah, so this is an example of a species that comes to this country or is in this country, and we're trying to kind of like reduce the numbers of this. And I've been doing my research, and I know in Palestine there are 3 plant species that shouldn't be there. They've either been brought there by people or they've come accidentally through other things. And I've got some pictures of them. They're very pretty actually, but they're very bad. So we have now, I'm going to hold them up. We've got hairy horseweed, which I thought was brilliant. I love the name of that. That's from Southern America. And then we have, now I'm going to attempt to read out the Latin names of these. So the hairy horseweed is Conyza bonariensis. We have the second one, which is African wood sorrel. That is Oxalis pescaprae, and that's from Southern Africa. And then this one, which is called silver nightshade, that's called Solanialium agnifolium, which is a bit of a mouthful, and that's from North America. I'll put all these on the chat so that you can see what they are, and I'll write all the Latin names and everything. Now, obviously, please don't go out and start picking wild plants in Palestine, because you never know. You might be picking the wrong ones, or you might hurt yourself or get poison on your hands. So obviously, let's leave that to the experts. But I thought it would just be really interesting to show you that, because to protect the environment, to protect all the countries and the wild places, we need to watch out for that as well. And that's a job that a lot of people do, and it's hard work, because I know we've got it's called giant hogweed as well in this country, and rhododendron bushes, and you know, it takes people months to cut them down and get rid of them. Okay, there we go. I'm going to move on to my Palestinian animal. Here we go. So some of you will have seen this before. She's very cheeky. She's been waiting patiently. Well, I say waiting patiently. She's actually been jumping up and down and being quite silly. But whoops, I'm going to hold her up, not because she's nasty and she bites, but I'm going to hold her up in this only because she's so jumpy and so excitable that I'm going to sort of contain her slightly so she doesn't jump away. If she runs away and goes under the bed, I have got her sister ready, who looks exactly the same as her, just in case, because she can be very, very cheeky. So this is Blossom. She is a spiny mouse. Now you might be wondering why is she called a spiny mouse? Now, if you have a look at the back of her body, whoops, sorry, Blossom. At the back of her body, she has little spikes, like a little hedgehog kind of thing. And just there, you can see them there. Whoops. And they're really, really sharp. If I run my fingers like this, you can see there, look. Now she's not scared of me, so she's kind of having them all flat, but she can make them stick up. So she looks like a little hedgehog. And it's for protection against predators. Now, as you can imagine, if you're a little mouse living in the desert in Palestine, there's going to be a lot of things that might want to eat you. So I do have some examples of some predators that might eat her. They're all quite cute, actually. So here we have the fennec fox, the Palestine jungle cat, and the mongoose. As I said, all very cute. Whoops, she's escaping already. All very, very cute. So these guys, they don't live in the towns and the cities. They're actually very clean animals, like they don't have fleas on them the way that perhaps a mouse or a rat in the city would have. And what it means is they don't carry germs and diseases, because it's not actually the rats and mice that are so dirty. It's more the fleas that live on their bodies that carry the germs, whereas these guys don't have fleas. They're very clean, actually, and they never smell, you know, like her cage and everything. It always smells really, really clean. Yeah, they have this really interesting life in the desert. They're very tough. They live in little family. They live in little family groups. So like a mum and dad and some sisters and like cousins, and they all take care of the babies together. The mother will have maybe 2-3 babies, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. And they're very kind. They all look after the babies and kind of raise them. The babies stay inside the mother's body much longer than a normal mouse. So when they're born, they kind of have hair and they're like good to go. You know, they're good to run around and run away from predators like, you know, a mongoose or something that might try and catch them. They have, as well as being very cute and having these lovely little hedgehog spikes, they have something that is completely unique and special to all mammals. They're the only mammal that can regrow their skin. Now, when I say they regrow their skin, I don't just mean like, oh, you know, they just have a little cut and then it heals again. Because, you know, we can, if we get a cut on our hand or something, it's fine. You know, it will heal. These guys, it takes it to a whole new level. So what they do, they have a special technique. If a predator grabs them by the tail, I'm not going to grab her by the tail. You'll see why in a minute. What will happen is the whole skin will come off the tail. It's called degloving, like a glove coming off your hand. She's trying to, if she jumps on the table, don't worry, she's very good at jumping really high from really high places. It's called degloving. So the whole skin comes off her tail, just leaving like bones and muscle behind. It's, I mean, I've never seen it myself, but it must be pretty disgusting to look at. And the mouse can regrow the whole skin. So like the hairs, the scent glands, just the little hair follicles, the sweat glands, everything. She can regrow. So I'll bring her a bit closer so you can see her. It's very, very cute. So scientists are researching these little mice because, you know, when you have perhaps somebody's injured in a fire and they have terrible burns, maybe, you know, all the skin has come off their arms or their body, it's very difficult for us to regrow skin, and you have to take bits of skin from another part of your body and put it on that part of your body. Anyway, if we can find out how these guys do this, we could save people's lives literally by copying this amazing regrowing of skin from scratch. So yeah, incredible little creatures. I love them. Also, they're very cute. They come out at night mostly, so they've got these huge eyes for seeing in the dark and these really big ears for listening in the desert. Now, I'm going to give her, she does eat nuts and seeds and things like that, but I'm going to give her a little worm. Let's see if she'll eat it. Here, Russell. Yeah. This. Oh, yes, she does. Okay, there you go. She's going to eat her. So yeah, these guys eat lots of insects. She doesn't, you know, she'll literally eat anything, but her favorite, oh, let's give you another one because I think you've already eaten that one. Let's give you one more, shall we? Here we go. And you can see her eating that there. Yeah, so they eat little bugs, anything that they can find, basically. So yeah, quite ferocious little predators. Not just cute mouse eating little bits of carrot and things. Anyway, she really enjoyed her little treat then. And I'm just double checking if there's anything else about them. But if there are any questions, I didn't see if there were any questions in the chat underneath. I'm just going to pop her in her little coconut because it's a bit more comfortable for her to sit in that. There you go. This is her little coconut house that she likes to sit in. Were there any questions before I finish?
I'm just having a look, Frezi. I can't see any questions. I'm not seeing any questions. So, but I love the coconut shell.
It's cute. Yeah, this is her little coconut house. Yeah, no, so very interesting little animals. Absolutely like great as pets. They live like 5 to 7 years. These guys are like 4.5, nearly 5. So they're quite old actually, but as you can see, they're not slowing down. They're really right cheeky and run around all the time. Yeah, so they're really, really cool pets. And you know, as I said, they're not from the towns and the cities. They're from lovely kind of wild desert places, and a very important part of the food chain. Lots of animals eat these. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to say that's brilliant. I don't know if there is any questions. I'm not seeing any on Facebook either, so that's fine. Thank you so much, Frezi. That's lovely.
No problem. And we did have lots of Q&A with her before when she appeared before. So and someone's asked how old she is, but I've already said so. So brilliant. Anyway, well, I'm glad. I hope everybody enjoyed my little Palestinian mouse. She's very cute. And I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of the presentations.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm already learning stuff as well about birds and mice and all kinds of things. And now we're going to have some more people who I think are going to talk about some really interesting things. And I'm going to hand over to Raja to take over this next part. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Thank you, Frezi, as well. It was so nice and interesting to know about the renewing the body and healing. That should be interesting to look into. So now we're going to move to our next guest speaker. We're going to have Imad Atrash. He is the executive director of the Palestine Wildlife Society in Beit Sahur, Palestine. He's going to be talking to us about environment education in Palestine. Over to you, Imad.
Thank you, Raja, a lot. Actually, I appreciate it. And it seems to me a phrase that you are sitting beside me. You are talking about Palestine and mammals of Palestine, the migration of Palestine. It's a great information you have, but I have some comments a little bit, but I will email you and we will be in touch very soon. Actually, this is a good opportunity for Palestine Wildlife Society and for me personally. And Palestine Wildlife Society started in 1999 in Bethlehem, Beit Sahur, in south of Jerusalem. And in 3 very quick strategic points. The first one, nature conservation, conservation of species, habitat, and site. Second, empowering people. Third, sustainable environment. Plus, this is just added to our strategic activities since 2008. We signed with WISPA, it was WISPA, World Society for Protection of Animals in London, and we do some activities in animal welfare. Since we started in 1999, we focused on environmental education. We've been very active since 1995 as person and after 99 as Palestine Wildlife Society team in the environmental education, awareness, and information among the Palestinian curricula. And this is first time ever have these curricula, plus as environmental education as conservation education. And since that, we built a network among the Palestinian schools in West Bank and Gaza in 2000. First project for us, it was in Wadi Gaza in Gaza, and a network with around 300 schools. And we did implement a lot of activities. I will summarize the activities in very few minutes. First of all, the network, it was Love Nature or Live Palestine. We have been with the students in the nature since '99 and doing some of their attracting their hobbies in bird watching, plant classification, watching animals and bird, as Freeze mentioned, more than 500 millions of birds coming from Europe to South Africa and located, staying for a short time, a few days, a few months, season in Palestine, and some of them, they are breeding in Palestine. This year, we have been, proud that we record white stork is breeding in Palestine in north of Jericho, which is, this is a good or a plus record for the bird migration. And this is first time ever happened. Plus, we've been lecturing the students and the schools. We did some of the lectures in the field with experiment also. We did some of the biology because I used to be at Bethlehem University as a lab assistant. We did some of the experiment in Solomon Pools, in Bethlehem, in Jericho, Al-Auja, etc., all around. Plus, now we moved to focus more and more with the students. We have now established the first environmental library in Palestine within around 1,500 books and booklets from different languages, especially in nature conservation and environmental education. And today, a lady graduate from Al-Quds University, I was her supervisor. She did the meeting at our library, and this is, we are proud of that. Now we are moving to a YouTube channel, and this is very soon will be live and with many programs with the school students. This is one of the sites. And we will have 2 hours weekly live showing our activities, school activities, student activities all around us, plus the public. Public will later we'll talk about that. And of course, as Animal Welfare Unit, we have a small rehabilitation wildlife center, and we are having a mobile clinic going to the villages, helping only donkeys, but with assistance of other animals, livestock, but mostly donkeys, because they are doing some of the heavy duty on donkeys, and poor donkeys in our areas, a little bit they are suffering. But now we have increased the awareness among the youngest people, especially the youngest people and the farmers, how to feed, how to give some rest to the donkeys during the work days, day and all of the day around. This is for the schools. Of course, we have newsletters for that among our schools. Second, this is from our side with the university, with the school student. And the other side with the university students, We have trained around 250 students in wildlife conservation, especially collecting data and observation. We have, as you have seen behind me, there is flora and fauna of one of our sites in Jenin, north of West Bank. There is the national flower of the state of Palestine. They call it Iris hyena. It's endemic to the village itself, Fakua village. It's Fakua iris. And I am finishing the report. We have noted that 90 to 90% of this iris are within territory of Fakua village. And these students are doing with us in wildlife survey, and we get also let them be benefit from our activities to after their graduation to have their position among the Palestinian organization, especially the agriculture or the BNA, the Environmental Equality Authority, and other institutes. They are around us. I would like to thank you a lot. I know that there is not enough time for everyone, but at least my email is there, my website there, and I appreciate Raja for your cooperation and support us to be with you today. I graduated from Bristol Polytechnic from 1982. I am with you there, Freezy, and I hope to meet you in England this summer, inshallah. We hope so. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Imad. That was really interesting. Thank you for all the information you provided us with. Now, before we're gonna heading to our next guest speaker, Saja Az-Zanati. Saja, she is 17 years old, but she is now going to present us a project that she worked on 3 years ago in 2018 when she was a student at Asma Prep School. She was part of a team in the English club, and they worked all together in this project. But today she is with us on behalf of all of the team to talk about it. Her teacher also, Rabab Samak, is here with us today. She was the teacher who supported them and helped them in this project. The project is titled A Digital Storytelling, talking about Gaza Sea water pollution. So over to you, Saja, now. You may start. You're muted. Okay, unmute yourself, please. No, not screen sharing. Just unmute yourself, Saja, so that we can hear you. Saja? Okay, great. So you're now unmuted. We can hear you now. I suppose that we will be able to. Saja?
What do you think, Raja? Maybe she's got problems with her internet connection.
Yeah, she can't hear us, although she's not muted. So let's move. We can go back to you, Saja, when you have your internet connection back or your, technical problem is sorted out. Let's move to our next guest speaker now. I'm so sorry, Saja, for this. We're gonna go back to you, I promise. I'm gonna introduce our next guest speaker now, Professor Mazen Qumsiya. I hope I'm saying the right pronunciation of the name. He is a Palestinian human rights activist and scientist and author. the founder and director of Palestine Museum of National History and the Palestine Institute for Biodiversity and Sustainability at Beit Lahem University. He's going to be talking to us about restoring hope via work on biodiversity and sustainability in Palestine. Over to you, Professor Mazen.
Can you please have Saja stop sharing so that I can share? I cannot share my screen unless she stops sharing her screen.
Okay, can you, Sarah, stop Saja from sharing her screen, please?
Yeah, I can try. Yep.
Okay.
What that might mean, hold on a second. Yeah, got it.
That's perfect. Thanks. Brilliant. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for doing this. This is very nice program. I enjoyed the presentations. I hope everybody is seeing my screen now.
Yeah.
And I just need to
make it bigger, please.
Bigger, yes.
Thank you.
So anyways, my name is Mazen Kumsiya. I was a professor in the US and then I came back to Palestine. We started a number of organizations. As you heard, Palestine is very important environmentally. It was also a bridge not just for migrating birds, as you heard, but also for humans migrating out of Africa. This is the Fertile Crescent where humans developed agriculture first. We do have a political problem with the shrinking land available to the indigenous people of Palestine. This is a settler colonialism system, and you heard about the problems associated with that before. 7.5 million of our people are refugees or displaced people. The colonial occupation also affects the environment. For example, destroying forested areas like near here, near my village, or draining the wetlands of the Hula area, or diverting the waters of the Jordan Valley from Lake Tiberias to the west. This all had devastating environmental impacts. We do some studies, research studies along these lines. For example, we now have a research study that's ongoing on the effect of the Red Sea, Dead Sea Canal that's damaging the environment in Wadi Araba. And of course, the latest, I don't call it conflict, it's a war on the people of Gaza that has damaged so much of Gaza, as you know, like this, for example, destroying infrastructure, destroying buildings, etc. This has been very devastating for our people. Over 100,000 natives have been killed since the colonial project started here. Over 800,000 have been injured and over 900,000 have been imprisoned. The colonization, of course, settler colonization has intention to destroy the environment. And the native people, the indigenous people, their job is to rebuild basically and protect the environment. And we have been doing this. Our ancestors actually lived in harmony with nature for thousands of years. You know, there's the Sustainable Development Goals on World Environment Day. We have to realize that much of the Sustainable Development Goals deal with protecting our environment and dealing with it. I want to just tell you a little bit how this kind of work is resistance in many ways. We have an institute called Palestine Institute for Biodiversity and Sustainability that we started here. This institute provides training and capacity building for the dozens of NGOs that are working on environmental protection in Palestine and the academia. And also we work closely with the EQA, the Environment Quality Authority, to facilitate work that protects our environment. The facilities that we have include Museum of Natural History, Museum of Ethnography. It includes also a library of about 10,000 books on biodiversity and environmental conservation, and a photo library that involves around 100,000 photos that we've collected over the past 7 years. We have a playground for children and a community garden. The community garden also includes aquaponic systems and others that raise our own food, basically food sovereignty. We actually brought 12 people from Gaza. I'm glad we have Gaza people here. We brought 12 people from Gaza and trained them on how to build these aquaponic systems to grow vegetables and fish in the same time. The community garden is now blooming and there are lots of vegetable products that children come and learn how to grow their own stuff, and much of our own food is produced now locally here. We have also facilities of molecular labs and other facilities, a herbarium, taxonomic lab, etc. In the education department, since this, I like what you showed about using live animals for education. That's precisely what we do also here on a daily basis. Actually, yesterday we had about 25 children here who were touching and feeling animals, etc. This is actually from yesterday, this photo from yesterday. They went around the garden with sheets to record the animals that they see, living animals, etc. And there was the highest score was for this young kid in the middle who managed to find 27 species of living animals that he could touch in the garden. We did develop a Palestine Action for the Planet. It's an informal network, not an organization or a new NGO or anything. This Palestine Action for the Network for the Planet is a group of people, local and international, that are interested in working on environmental issues. In terms of research, we work on various areas of research, including we published, for example, in the last 2 years, 3 papers on birds in Palestine. We published on mushrooms, on orchids recently, just last year. So in research, we publish about 2 research papers or articles every month. This includes also an environmental education, because to educate children of certain ages, like 5 years old, is different than education for 10-year-old, etc. So research is number one, because we need this material to then do the other 2 things, which are education and conservation. In education, for example, over 8,000 school and university students benefited recently in the past 5 years, actually. Also common adults, locals and internationals. We developed educational modules specific to, tailored to specific audiences. For example, climate change modules that we are now doing animations on them. We have many projects that are ongoing. We have 11 projects now that relate mostly to environmental education and conservation, in addition to our research. In conservation, we are engaged in area protections, protected areas in Palestine. We are currently writing the 6th national report to the Convention on Biological Diversity with support of the many NGOs and academia and others, including Palestine Wildlife Society and many others. We are working also for the National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan for Palestine, the new one, because the last one was done in 1999. Our keys to success is that we work collectively, teamwork, learning as a lifelong process, developing capacity of our young people, especially. These are just some of the young people that are associated with the Institute. They grow in the Institute. Actually, many of our volunteers met other volunteers, got hitched and married and have children in our Institute. We have volunteers from around the world, and we welcome you to come and volunteer with us. You'll enjoy our hospitality. Here, for example, you'll see some of the volunteers enjoying themselves, working with children, etc. We do have very good food, very good company. You can see a picture on the lower right-hand corner. Some of the international local volunteers having lunch in our library. They go out on the field. They work with many aspects of our, field work. Beautiful country. So if you want to know more, go to PalestineNature.org, and there you'll see some of our videos, but you'll also see what you can do and how you can help us, whether here or abroad. By the way, I just heard some good news today. Actually, I got another donation for building infrastructure, $700,000. So we have many activities. What we need is people, actually, much more than what I call money. We don't really need money. We need people. We need volunteers. And I would love to work with the young people from Gaza and help them establish something like this in Gaza, to work with their children in Gaza and other places. Thank you very much. And I'll put my own email in the chat room if people want to contact me. Unfortunately, I have to leave at 7:30 for another engagement, but hopefully we'll be finished before then. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Mazen. That was really amazing. And thank you for your time with us. The idea of engaging students in these activities are just amazing. We hope that our students in the Hands Up Project in Gaza and the West Bank would, get engaged and get involved in such activities. Now we're going to go back to Saja. Are you there, Saja? Can you hear us?
Hello?
Yeah, that's great. So turn on your camera, please, and start your presentation, which is about storytelling on, what is it about? Digital storytelling, talking about Gaza seawater pollution. So over to you, Saja. You might start now.
The idea of the project was to raise the problem of sea pollution strongly due to its importance. The problem lies in the pollution of the Gaza seawater. We as English club team decided to choose this topic with Mrs. Rabab Abu Samak and Mrs. Ibtisam Oda. Then we took a course to refine our English and use environmental terms with Mrs. Hanin Jadallah. We examined whether there's actually pollution by taking samples from the sea from different spots of the beach. After that, we went examining them chemically and biologically in the Islamic University labs. Of course, the result revealed chemical and biological contamination. We took the result and went to a dermatologist and an internist and asked them several questions about the danger of this pollution to the human body. The answers were shocking. The risk was great. And the danger was not only to humans, but to fish as all. We went to the Fisheries Authority, and the latest research showed the disappearance of many types of Mediterranean fish on the shores of the Gaza Sea due to the pollution. This pollution has greatly damaged biodiversity. Therefore, we approached the Environmental Quality Authority to learn about the procedure of this institution towards this danger. And it surprised us that the problem revolves around and returns to the Israeli occupation. The cause of the main pollution problem is wastewater, sewage. Therefore, we went to the wastewater refining plant to discuss its procedure and how this authority can reduce the pollution problem. But again, there's the problem of occupation and electricity. After completing the research and investigation, we were able to come up with several recommendations, the most important of which is the presence of an international committee in the Gaza Strip, as it's part of the global ecosystem. And we shared this research and recommendation with the BALTAG conference sponsored by the British Council. That's all what I want to say. Thanks for listening.
Okay, thank you, Saja. That was really amazing, great and hard work. And I want to thank your friends who worked with you on this project. And I want to also thank Ms. Rabab and Ms. Haneen for supporting and helping you out. So now we're gonna move on to another brilliant student. We're gonna move on to Rida Ouda. She is an amazing student that I personally met in one of our intercultural communication course. She was one of the amazing girls there. She had a very good English, excellent English, I would say. She's now gonna, she's from Al Ma'muniyah Prep School first, and she's going to read a lovely letter she wrote to Earth as a final project of the inline intercultural communication course. So over to you, Rida.
Okay. Hi, Earth. Are you okay, or you are hurting right now? I know that. What we can do every second, every minute, every hour, all the day long without stop. You are hurting by what humans have done to you, by what we have done to you. Pollution in sea, sky, trash in the streets everywhere. War here and there. The fire was still burning. Sky, cry and cry. It's so sad about you. Don't worry. It's okay. We are human beings. Build and build for future. Without a stop, from machine to technology, we are smart inside. But we need guide to help us to go to the correct way for strength. We will choose the best for us, we promise you. We will get rid of everything, from water pollution to destroying homes. We will construct from the beginning with each other. I will. We will protect the nature. You are the basic for us. We will get rid of problems which we are making with our hands. We are hurting you, but we promise you the best for a bright tomorrow without war and love and good energy forever. I finish.
Wow, thank you, Rida. That was really amazing. How did you feel when you wrote this? How did it feel like?
Actually, I think I love writing. So when I search after HGB course, I feel like I'm so angry because we are making pollution in everywhere. And I want in the future to protect environment.
Yeah, that's great. I hope all of the students can hear you now and they can start doing what's right and keeping their environment clean. Thank you so much, Rida. Now we have one last thing to present you today, and we have now another Rida, but this time it's Miss Rida Thabit, an educational specialist on UNRWA Gaza and core skill trainer, and also one of our trustees in the Hands Up project. She's going to be presenting a competition called The Fish That Lived. She's going to be launching it now. So before that, are you here, Ms. Rida? Can you do it? I think she lost it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find her now.
Yeah, she messaged me a couple of minutes ago and she said she lost the connection. So could you just show the video first, Sarah? And
I'll share the video.
Yeah,
it's a very, very short video and a very beautiful video. Let me just check my sound.
Okay.
Am I good for the sound? Yep, here we go.
أنقذناها من الدار. والحين العصافير بالنار.
As I said, a very short video and a very, very beautiful one. And I hope we can get Rida back. Do you think we can or not?
She's here, but I don't know if she can do it. Ms. Rida, can you do it? Do you have enough good internet connection? I can see her here, but
I could share the blog post. Shall I do that?
yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Rasha?
Yes, we can hear you, but
hello?
Yeah.
Hi,
Hello?
Rita. Yes, we can hear you.
Rasha, can you hear me?
I think she has a bad internet connection. So
We can hear you, Rida. Please speak.
she can't hear us, I think.
Okay. Okay, well, you interrupt me if your connection comes back, please, Rida, because this is your idea, and it would be wonderful if you can share with us what this is about. So Rida got in touch with us and told us about this incredible video where these children, with the video that you've just seen, rescued a fish from a building that had been bombed during the recent atrocities committed against the people of Gaza. And it's so inspiring. It's so beautiful to see that this is something that children all around the world have in common. Well, one, that they love animals and they feel this kind of affinity with animals. And secondly, that the problems of the environment are something that they are going to have to deal with, and they are the best people who are going to deal with those problems. And we've seen tonight from all of the young people presenting in the plays, presenting their poems, presenting their research, incredible vision and incredible care and love for the environment that surrounds them. And we see that particularly in that video. So Rida had this idea to launch a competition, a writing competition. So the idea is that if you are 15 years or under and you live in Palestine, you send us a piece of writing. It could be a story, it could be a poem, it could be a song, the script of a song, and it should be between 100 and 200 words. And there is a competition for teachers of English, or any teachers, and there is a competition for students as well. And the prize will be a tablet for each competition. So if you want to enter that competition, please send us your entry before the 31st of June. And please remember to include your full name, your date of birth, your school, and the English teacher of the student as well. And for the teachers as well, we need those details as well for the teachers. So you can find that blog post on our blog, info@handsupproject.org. I'd also just like to, while I'm speaking, I'd also like to mention this book. The play that you saw at the beginning was called Welcome to Earth. Originally, it was created by a group of boys in Askar refugee camp in Nablus. And we've seen it performed now by girls from Beit Hanun UNRWA school in Gaza. And there are many versions of this play all around the world. There's a Croatian version, a Romanian version. There have been versions performed by adults and children. And I think if you are working with young people somewhere in the world, we would love to see your own version of this play, Welcome to Earth. It's an incredible play with a beautiful environmental message. So I would just like to say thank you to all of our speakers this evening, and particularly thank you to all of the young people who've just shown us your incredible creativity, your passion, and your love and your care. So thank you so much to you all.
Okay. Thank you again. I think, am I going to end this or you, Sarah?
I think we could all end it, actually, to tell you the truth. I think that Nick just completely stole my thunder because he said exactly he said exactly what I wanted to say.
Say it again, Sarah.
There's no need. I think you finished it beautifully. Thank you, everybody. But with special thanks to, I will name you, Sarah, Rahaf, Yara, Ghazal, Saja, and Reda, because you are the people taking us forward into the future and saving our environment. So thank you so much, everybody. That was fantastic, brilliant being with you. And see you again. Good job.
Thank you. All the support to Palestine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your great work.
Raja, you did a great job, Raja.
Thank you.
Everyone. To see you sometime in Bethlehem or in Gaza.
Inshallah. Inshallah, I hope so. I hope so. Thank you so much.
All the best. Love to you from Palestine.
Thank you. All the best to you. And thanks to everybody.
Bye, Rabab.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for your efforts. It's very nice.
Thank you for your efforts and you're a great student. Thank you.
Professor. Professor, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. And if you, again, I would love to network, especially with the young people here, but also Com and the others, Frazier. I really like to touch base with you and see if we can cooperate on something. We have an education department now here that has 3 really good people. I'd like to network them with you.
That's really interesting.
Definitely, Mazen. That sounds excellent. I really enjoyed all of that. It was amazing, inspiring. It makes me miss Ramallah and Palestine and Gaza.
Yeah, we did a project with the British Council, by the way, that had to do with cultural heritage related to nature and the environment. It's the one that funded our ethnography. And now they came back to me asking, they're saying that more money if I want to do some more work along those lines of using indigenous people knowledge in environmental conservation. Problem is I'm overwhelmed with projects and I'm not sure I want to get one more, but we'll see.
It looks to me like people are making lots of connections going on into the future. And I think that Hands Up Project has, as usual, helped something great to happen today. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the work that's going to come out of that. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.